Issue 233. After Sonic taunts Shadow in a fight, he does a tornado around him, and Shadow jumps out of it and runs around. Then the Chaotix realize the spaceship's going to crash because while they were all fighting spiders, no one was flying it. Shouldn't they have had an autopilot? When they left the spaceship, I was under the impression that they had stopped it beforehand. The heroes all encounter Shadow, with the Chaotix recognizing him from their image scan, and Sonic tells Omni to warp the emeralds away to the floating island. Good thing he showed up at this exact time and place. Shadow says that just as Zachary had predicted, they're witnessing the passing of a nightmare country, whatever that is. And for some reason he thinks it's a great honor. Wait, I think I have vague memories of was the special zone called the Nightmare Country? Like when Knuckles first met the Chaotix? Espio goes out of invisibility and wastes a whole bunch of time taunting Shadow in one panel, giving him enough time to attack the chameleon for his complete idiocy. Shadow then says that the Omniviewer is a system that runs on chaos energy, which will make things easy for him. Naturally, since Shadow can control chaos energy, so why wouldn't he be able to control the Omniviewer? He's kind of like the Electro Mage, like the Iron Queen can control robots because she can control electricity. And Omni is forced to suck the Chaotix and Knuckles through it while apologizing. I guess Shadow made him do this sparing Sonic's friends purely to get them out of the way of him faster. Shadow tells him his mission's complete, plans to show Sonic something interesting, and the story ends with Omni telling the Chaotix that the special zone has been replaced with a void, and it's gone. Along with Sonic. Yeah, along with Sonic, yeah right. I don't know if it comes back, but the fanbase must have really hated that place. Mighty gets upset about losing his dad, Charmy gets upset at losing his mom, and for some dumb reason Espio says Charmy never had a family in the special zone to lose, because the writer clearly forgot all about the story where Charmy uses rich family connection to buy out Crimson Cobra Inc., which he clearly told the Chaotix all about. So Espio and the writer forgetting that is pretty odd since that was Charmy's second biggest moment of awesome. In the next story, Tikal, wanting to learn about how she got to the present because nobody decided to tell her, goes to a pretty looking waterfall spring pond called the Place of Voices, which in the ancient language of her people is called the Temple of Tikal. The ancient language of her people, and then it's just called another thing in English anyways. Is it an English translation of what exactly it would be called literally? I guess so. A text box says that she hears them as we see some echidnas working on building the temple, working hard to do so. Then out of nowhere, some ghosts circle around Tikal and taunt her, with one of them saying that she was carried inside of a demon. You'd think that would bring back memories in her. She's told that now she's in the home of the Death Lord, and the ghosts are waiting in the River of Souls for his return. She goes back to the riverbank, the voices stop. Well, good thing she was able to actually do that. And she comes to the conclusion that before the temple was created, there was something here, older and more terrible. This reminds me of when Knuckles was threatened by ghosts because all of the rhinos were killed off. Maybe those are the rhino ghosts? She thinks about how her ancestors must have cast the ancient evil out and leaves. This issue is by Ed Reynolds. The first story has Shadow get rid of the Chaotix by magically forcing the Omniviewer to warp them back to Mobius because he can take control of its chaos energy. And as the emeralds get closer to each other to threaten the zone's existence, because I guess they act like the emeralds when they were split in half in the Sonic Triple Trouble adaptation, which would have made a lot more sense, because, you know, like a half an emerald, like, its core is exposed. Of course it would be a lot more violent and destructive and unstable. Like, if that was what was happening, then I would totally buy emeralds being all one place causing an explosion, destroying the whole special zone. But instead, they're all just one place like normal. Like, if all the Chaos Emeralds being in one place would destroy an entire zone, then why didn't Sonic do that every time he turned Super in, like, every other continuity? Also, they're all one place on Angel Island all the time. So, oh, but I guess because they're kept stable with the machine thingy, they're fine. Shadow taunts Sonic that he wouldn't win against him with the super form because he was made to control chaos energy, which gives me an idea, like, maybe Shadow could take control of Super Sonic because he's made of chaos energy. That would actually be really interesting. And the story ends with the special zone being a mere void with Sonic gone, as if I'm expected to believe that he's dead. I'm interested in seeing how he's gonna survive this. Probably with a super form. And in the last story, Tikal randomly gets attacked by ghosts when she's trying to get a flashback of her past in a temple of Tikal. Because apparently there's a temple that you can get flashbacks of your past from. Well, I guess it's a place that she used to call home, and so... But why wouldn't she just get the same effect from Megapolis? Ghosts, that came out of nowhere. And it's not implied that they're the Rhino ghosts.